Kyle. Hey, Rashod, I guess you had probably your best. I know you had a great Liberty Bowl, so but considering you were playing at Death Valley against LSU, I thought that was maybe your best game. What was that game like for you, and what kind of boost does that give you moving forward? Maybe.
It was a wonderful experience. I like the crowd, like the atmosphere. Like they have great fans, a great support. There was 100,000 people there, and you could hear all of them.
I bet they weren't saying nice things.
Nah.
And, uh, I also want to ask you guys, KJ's on the verge of setting a record for most touchdowns, I guess, created, rushing and passing. Well, what do you guys think? KJ's obviously got a lot of good qualities, but what do y'all think is really makes him a great player and a great touchdown producer? Maybe Rashod, you could take that first, and then Jaylon.
Yes, sir. I know, like from experience, you're a great leader, like tremendous guy, like on in and off the field. Like he under his business. He makes sure everyone around him trying to do the same thing on the right track. He makes sure everybody's on their P's and Q's, and we execute the offense. Like no matter what the play call is, find a way to execute it.
Same thing with Dub said. He got great leadership. Like you could tell by like in the locker room in the game, before all the games, he always comes around to the defensive side. He daps up every single one of us before the game, say, let's go. So just his leadership.
Thanks.
Right.
Yeah, Rashod, I was curious, what do you think has been the biggest difference in you? It looked like you were just really hitting it, and even when it was just a wall, sometimes you would just run right into it and pick up 3-4 yards and stuff. What's been the biggest difference from you from the beginning of the year to the last game?
Trusting the old line. At first, I was like going off what I knew last year, like with the older guys that had them left in the game. It was like kind of faster. I just started trusting the old line, taking what they give me and hitting the right holes, slowing down my steps, making the right reads.
Jaylon, I wanted to ask you about the wide receivers for Texas A&M, Evan Stewart, 1 and 0, Anais Smith. What have you seen from those guys? They're obviously both pretty explosive, productive wide receivers for them.
Nothing but respect for those guys. They have a talented group of receivers. So we really look forward to going to AT&T Stadium and getting the face off against them.
What have you been told about Bobby Petrino and the offense that he runs, and what are you seeing from them on film?
Lots of explosive plays. They like getting the ball to their playmakers a lot in open space. So we just got to keep the top on the coverage.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, hey Jaylon. So your playing time. I mean, you got some playing time. Game one, and 25 snaps last week. What's the experience been like for you? Kind of already kind of factoring in.
Oh, I'm starting to get like more comfortable in the game. I could say like my first game I was playing, I was just getting my feet wet, getting used to the college atmosphere. But I could say I'm pretty settled in now, ready to go.
And you've had a pretty good view, I guess, of this rivalry. What's it going to be like going back to Texas and kind of participating in this game?
Oh, it's gonna mean a lot getting to go back to my hometown, getting to play in front of all my family and friends. And I actually grew up playing at the Cowboy Stadium, so that's gonna be a fun experience too. So I look forward to it.
How many games you reckon you played there?
Too many to count on my hands. I started playing there in Little League, and actually my first game of my senior year, that's where I played.
All right. Hey, Rashod, we saw Rocket today looking probably the best he's looked since game one. What did you see from him?
I seen the same thing you guys see. I was so excited that he's back. He's a tremendous leader too as well. Him and AJ Green and Dominique Johnson, they all keep me motivated every day, bringing it to practice. So make me step my game up.
What do you think of this rivalry? I mean, last year, there's a couple of freakish plays and you might have had them. And so how important maybe is this game to you?
This game is important because I like winning. Like every game, I take every game the same way. I love winning. Like I come from a winning background. I like to win. So this one we have to win. I don't think we should lose anymore.
All right. Well, so what did last year's game feel like then? It was, the pain of it maybe.
Yeah, it hurt for sure because I feel like we had it in the bag and we let it slip. But shouts out to those guys for their coaching staff and their athletes making plays too. It's just going to be a dogfight.
Thanks.
Daniel. quick, what has kind of Rockets' role been like within the running back room since he hasn't been able to play the last 3 weeks?
You know, keeping us motivated, telling us what he see on film, like what we could have did better, staying in touch with us, letting us know he's still here, like he ain't going nowhere, basically.
Bob.
Yeah, I had a bunch of people ask me this week, how do I think the teams are doing after a couple tough losses? We know those could have been wins just as well as losses. I was like, I don't know. So I'm gonna ask you guys, how's the team doing? Kind of what's the mindset and after a couple real tough losses?
You know, we all sticking together and making sure we still win. Like we don't pay attention to the outside noise because they're not here working with us. So we just stick together, find a way to win. That's our biggest goal.
Yeah, Jaylon's a young guy. You know, they say I'm sure you used to win a lot in high school. Kind of what's the stretch been like, and what's the mindset? Do you think?
We just got to get back on track. You know, like Dub said, we don't listen to all the outside noise. We all we got. We all we need.
Thanks.
Right.
Yeah, Jaylon, is it difficult preparing for, I guess, two different quarterbacks since you don't, I guess, 100% know if Weigman's going to play?
I would, yeah, a little bit, but like for DB, we just look at like route concepts. So whatever quarterback comes out, we're obviously studying both of them, but we'll be ready for whichever one plays.
You guys it looked like you really got up and had a game plan and stuck to it and everything against LSU. How do you bottle that and make sure you keep that momentum and I mean, it's hard to get up every single week for a game. And how do you make sure you carry that over just for both of you?
First off, I say like we come out clicking on all cylinders, like don't beat ourselves because that's what happens. Most of the time we're beating ourselves, like with penalties and things of that nature, which we can't blame the refs. We just got to execute and win the right way. That's what we've been preaching all year, winning the right way.
Jaylon?
Just going out there, knowing your assignment, knowing what to do, and just sticking to our 3 keys of victory we get every week, and just maintaining those to reach those goals.
And Jaylon, you talked about being, obviously from that area. You're like, 45 minutes away. A lot of family and friends going to be there?
Yes, sir, they are.
Yeah. How many are you expecting? Have you been having to gather tickets and stuff?
Yeah, I'm trying to get tickets. It's hard right now, but I know for sure that my mom and all of them, they're going to be there. So,
yeah. Anybody
out there watch on TV?
If you had to estimate, what do you think? How many people that you know?
At least 20. At least 20.
Yeah. Rashod, I guess it's a little farther for your family.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Tom, did you have one more?
I did. Rashod, I wanted to ask you about the Texas A&M defensive front. I think statistically they have the best run defense of anybody who's played yet. Just what do you make of their personnel and their teams on defense?
You know, back to what I said at first, trusting the O-line. They have a tremendous group up front, and I believe we have a good O-line as well we have concepts and things of that nature to stop what they're doing or execute based on what they're running.
All right. Jaylon, have you watched any of these Southwest Classic games on TV, or have you attended any of them?
Actually, when I committed, I was committed here when they played them last year. It was actually on my homecoming. So I was tuned in last year the whole game. Yes, sir.
What did you think of just kind of maybe the atmosphere of the game and how it played out last year?
Oh, you can't get a better atmosphere, but like I'm here now, so I'm ready to get a part of that atmosphere and help us get a win.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, fellas.